Hey guys, so I'm always working on something, and one of those things I'm working on today is I've got to install this guy. Um, I picked it up off Facebook Marketplace, a new inbox unit. So I got a pretty good deal on it. I'm pretty happy about that because I'm pretty cheap when it comes to this stuff, or what I consider cheap. I try and always find some kind of deal, especially if I can find it used. But so we today's video really is just about installing this guy. So it's a 50 watt guy. Everything's in the COM. And it's all the controls are right here. It's kind of nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and there we go. I'm terrible at this videography stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give you a quick, I don't know, tutorial or walkthrough or whatever of what I'm doing with it. So you can install this any way you want, but I found that this is kind of the easiest way to install it in a JL or a JT. It's just the easy way. And you don't really have to kind of poke any holes through your firewall or anything. That's the part that I like. So anyways, let's get into that thing. Today's going to be a fun day. Well, as always, I find myself starting a video in the middle of a project because I always forget about this kind of stuff. I'm not very good at recording stuff. Anyways, I picked up a Midland Jeep branded, I think it's MXT575. So it's a higher watt unit. And I've already got the dash, kind of, the glove box out. I've decided this is where it's going to live. I've Velcroed it in place. I didn't screw it down. And I'm just kind of trying to figure things out. I've got the fasteners out for the windshield frame to drop. I just need to, let's see. Okay, next steps are I've got to remove the fasteners for the dorkle, then I pull the dorkle out just slightly. There's plenty of play in this. I can pull it out, push the windshield forward a little bit, then I can get the wiring harness through the flange there at the windshield. That's typically how I want to wire it. Here's a harness. I've got a couple other things running through here as well, but so you just run it right through this flange here. And you really can't, it's hard to see with this in the way, and I'll pop that out. And as you can see, I actually have to replace this. That all cracked and broke, and I've got a washer holding it in place. But pop this panel off, and this tilts forward, and the harness runs right through that gasket there at the flange. This is the harness, pops in here, connects to the battery. And yeah, we're getting closer. This switch, I actually put the factory switch in. I added this myself. It's one of the very few options this truck did not come from the factory with. So I put this in myself. These are the big, what are those? The Big Baja Pro 9, whatever they are. These are the ditch lights. This is the wide cornering angle lights that are in the Next Venture skid plate. And then this is my Wii Boost. And I actually leave this on all the time. I just let my Wii Boost run because I'm in and out of signal all over the place. So and it definitely does help. I can get, sometimes one full bar of extra signal strength with that thing. So I am now going to route this, but I got to move the dorkle. So that's the next step. And again, this is all the install for my Midland GMRS radio. And I figure what's going to end up happening is this is just going to pop out like this. It's just going to pop out of the door. And when it's not being used, I can just, put it back inside the glove box and you don't see it. So But that's kind of the setup, though. I've got phone mount here for my wife should she ever actually come on a trip with me. My phone mount's over there, and then we've got the handheld CB unit right there. You know, I've got another one here, and sometimes I'll put an iPad over here for navigation, but I don't need it right now. And of course, I did it again. When I put the doors back on the truck, I left the damn mirrors on and broke this. I just replaced it. I literally just replaced it like last month. So I got to buy another set. I'm collecting all the extras because I always forget those damn mirrors. Anyways, let's move on to the next step. All right, like I mentioned earlier, this little panel's got to come off, and I keep forgetting. If you can see, that diameter is smaller than that diameter. So back when this truck was almost brand new, I had a little freeway incident where a vehicle in front of me kicked up a bunch of like drayage, just trash off the freeway, and it ripped up my hood, busted my windshield frame, broke this. So the body shop, you know, they were supposed to repair all that and do a good job with it. And I think this is actually the original piece because it I don't know if this is the original piece, but it appears as if they tried to like epoxy this right here, and it just broke. So I'm not sure, but you know, body shops are notorious for doing cheap, fast, shoddy work, and of course that's what I got, was cheap, fast, shoddy work. So anyways, I got to clean all this because as you can see, there's more Moab here. I am never doing the mud puddles with my daughter again in Moab. She loves the mud puddles, but Jesus, man, it's such a mess. It's insane. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I got a little cleaning to do here. This is gonna drive me nuts. So I'm gonna get to cleaning all this, and as you can see, I've already got wires running through here. You know, I've already got wires running through here. So I'm gonna run a few more, and there's like a little dip right here, and the wires just kind of seem to naturally land right in that spot as it comes down, and that works out really well right there. So this got cleaned. That's a good thing. Hey, look, there's a cable strung out. And look, there's a power wire down here now. The sun finally came out. That's good. So you can see I've got it split open here. And oh my God, it's all clean. That took a few minutes, but the fuses are here. And I want them in the engine bay, so I've drawn it out this long. And you can see this is the antenna cable here, and I'm trying to decide, do I put the antenna here or do I mount the antenna off of this guy? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it off of this. I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Let's get that trash out of there. So that's probably where it's going to go. It's probably going to come off of this right out here and hang out over here. I think I like that. I'm not sure. Oh, that's right. When the hood comes up, it can't. So it's going to have to come off of here somewhere, I think. That's probably, that'll be it. So as I'm figuring all of that out, I grabbed my bin Orando, and I got all kinds of stuff in here. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that just kind of moves through projects and just shoves stuff aside and I forget to come back to it. So I know in here I got a bunch of random brackets and stuff like that. This may end up working just fine. No. What's this? This is really thin stuff. This might work. Let's set that aside. I mean, you know, there's always this stuff. It doesn't look good though. That's the problem. yeah, this is literally just the bin of random stuff. This bracket here may end up working really well. These are fender braces for the old Tacoma. I think these were from, oh, I can't remember the name of the guy. He's out in Fresno. He builds bumpers for Tacomas and Toyotas mostly, I think, is what he does. Yeah. And his bumpers are great. The one that I got from him, though, I think he was in a rush, and we actually had to redo all this stuff because the tack welds were so flimsy that it literally fell apart. Can't remember the name of his shop. There's no need for me to name his shop because, you know, he didn't give anything to me for free. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna use maybe this one or this one. We'll see. I'm gonna fiddle around. Let's take this one over here and see what it looks like over here. Hold on. If I bring it over here somehow. No, I can't have it there. It's got to be over here somewhere, somehow, like this. So it'll probably be the other bracket. It'll be the other bracket. This one won't work. It's just not. This is it right here. We'll use this one. Fantastic. That's the next step. Right. So we've got antenna pulled through and power cable pulled through. I'm waiting on the external speaker. I'm going to mount the external speaker up here, but I'm going to put in an overhead molly rack here. I am ordering that from Epic something. They're up in Canada. Those Canadians, they're a lot of fun. Anyways, I'm going to wire in that external speaker later. That won't be a big deal. But I've got the windshield back in place. I've got all the lines routed through that I need to. And you can see here we go. So it's all up against this hard rubber gasket. And it does a pretty good job of conforming to the wires here. So I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about water intrusion or anything. I've never had an issue in the past with other stuff. So you can see that we are full here now because I have decided this is where I'm gonna put the antenna. I'm gonna base it off of this right here, just a little tab, and then the antenna will be here. So all the excess cabling I've zip tied and kind of hidden in this spot. So there's a lot going on in there, but it's fine. This guy just needs to get routed to the battery. I wanted enough length for these to be under the engine hood. And so really all I'm waiting on right now is for the bracket to cure. I've been painting the aluminum bracket that I made. It's literally just a little stumpy piece of flat aluminum with 2 holes drilled in it. And then I kind of start putting stuff together. So if you can imagine the antenna hanging out here, this is where the antenna will be. With its location, everything will still be fine with the hood coming up and down, and it ought to be good. So we're gonna go ahead and set that guy over there, and we're actually almost done with the kind of the meat and potatoes of this project. It's really, the hardest part is finding a location where you want to mount the control box for the GMRS radio. In my case, I just want it in here. I've got it Velcroed in place, some super sticky 3M Velcro stuff, and then routing your lines up and through. And I pop the speaker off up here. As you can see, there's the speaker. I pop that off, and that just makes it easier for getting up and through this area. You've got to use like a trim tool to pry up ever so slightly on the back side of the plastic dash panel there in the back, just to get that, to get this big round connector through. But other than that, I mean, like, this install is actually really, really, really easy. It's just time consuming. That's the biggest part of it all, because you kind of got to disassemble a bunch of things to make it all happen. But really, it's just simple stuff. I mean, it's size, what, T40 for these guys. Up there, I think they're T30s. And, you know, these are 10 mil here, but they're only 10 mil because I've got this extra bracket and light there. Otherwise it would be more of these T40s, and really it's not that hard. But once you're all done, you've got a pretty nice clean install where, you know, people can't see it when it's all put away. And then when you're wheeling, it's pretty straightforward. You just, you know, plug this guy in and close it, and the cable stays there and it stays attached, and you can use it all you want, and it's nice and easy. The only downside is that I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough room to put my factory manual back in the glove box. I know it's kind of stupid because I don't need it in the Jeep. It can live in the garage in the filing cabinet with all the other stuff, but I've just always been one of those people that likes to leave the factory stuff kind of where it came from the factory. It took me, it sounds stupid, but it took me a long time to take off all the little warning things after I bought the truck, just because I like that stuff. And then I kind of got to go through and clean all this and get it clean. I am going wheeling next week on I think it's going to end up being a solo trip. It was supposed to be a Rubicon trip, but I had one of the major part of the parties bail. He was actually the reason why I was going on the Rubicon, but so he bailed, and then other people's schedules kind of got too tight. So I think I'm rolling solo, probably heading up off 395 somewhere like I usually do because I love it up there. Yeah, we're almost done with this, so I just need for this little bracket to cure, and then I can start bolting everything together, and we'll be done. Right, all right, so here we are. We're all done. Mic's on. I changed this. I liked the bullet point mounting doohickey here a lot better than the other one that I had. Kind of had a couple pieces adapted together, whereas this was just a straight shot into the arm. That fits better. You know, windshield's all dialed in. I've got the panel back on. I've got this mounted, lights re-aimed, antennas on, all the wiring's done, and the Dorkel is kind of remounted and rebolted here. So these guys are run down, everything's on up there. And yeah, here we go. So cockpit looks slightly different now with this here. It is a little bit of a reach, but it's not so bad. I mean, you know, this isn't a bad reach. And we are functioning. You can hear it, but not very well. So I plan on putting a speaker up here with an Epic chromoly, I think that's what they call it. Mounts right up there, spans this area, mounts up in here. It's going to cover up my AM/FM digital antenna though, so that's kind of a bummer. But the reality is I never use AM/FM anyways. I'm still stuck on satellite. I probably always will be because I like a couple of the stations specifically that I have there. So, but yeah, this looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So you can see I can actually take this off and just put it in there if I'd like, which is probably how I will roll around most of the time. Just don't need to have this sitting here while I'm daily driving and working and stuff. But yeah, now the interior just needs a really solid cleaning, like a seriously solid cleaning. You can actually see I need to clean the doors here. Still haven't cleaned the doors from Moab. Look at that. That's pretty nasty. That was Easter Jeep Safari. It's like July now. Also, I've got to replace this mirror. I broke this mirror. So, yeah, I'm really good at breaking stuff. But hey, that's kind of what this is all about, I guess, is just getting out there, having fun. Sometimes you make mistakes, and, well, then you've got to pay to fix those mistakes. But regardless, all right, everybody, get out there, get dirty, have fun, be safe.